Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night with Kettle Kitchen. I'm glad you could make it. So we did go ahead and decide to go ahead and continue our discussion on what are we going to do with what's going on. And that had a lot to do with inflationary prices. So before I get into the conversation, I do want to bring back our wonderful panel, who I'm always grateful for being here. We will start with Pam, not Blue, from Bloo's Reliance.
Hello.
Welcome. And Dale from Acre Family Farm.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
And bundled up and staying warm, as always, not for nothing, Homestead, Ginger, and soon to be Joey when he returns with coffee.
Yes. Hi, guys.
Howdy,
Welcome,
howdy.
you guys.
I'm going to try to look at the chat tonight. Last week, I wasn't able to do that, but I'm going to get the chat up on my phone and so I can keep up with it.
To my knowledge, as of right now, I haven't seen any messages come through, but they will because I see people coming in, so they'll jump in, I'm sure, pretty soon. So, basically, this would be what we would consider the fourth episode in a series, and I messed up because I'm sitting here trying to remember exactly what I called this series. I knew it 2 seconds ago, but now I don't. So bear with me.
How to deal with what is...
How to deal with,
How to deal with. I like that. That works well for me.
Yeah.
How to deal with what is coming, part 4. And this time it's what can we offer to help you? That is what we decided to go with. Okay. Hello, Susan. Thank you for coming in. This time around, we decided to I decided and forced it upon the others. They didn't have really much of a say-so in it, other whether they would do it or not.
Oh, coffee.
But we've been talking and doing a lot of this is what's happening. This is what's going to happen. This is how everybody's affected by it. And I thought it might be smart for us to go around. Hello, Rhonda. Thank you for coming in. I thought it'd be nice for us to provide some alternatives or answers to some of those problems. Hello, Annette. Thank you for coming in. Thank you. That is great. I will, after I wake up in the morning, I will go ahead and look at it and post it. Thank you. So I think since when there's Tiffany now, so we'll bring her up. And as always, the wonderful and non-paying attention, Tiffany.
Thank you.
I think you brought her up too early.
I think I did too. Are you okay?
She what? I didn't see her.
I don't know
Oh, there she is.
what's wrong with her. Great.
I'm only catching like every other. Am I the only one?
No,
I'm only catching every other word too.
You're glitchy for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Tips like never glitchy.
It's me. Can you hear me now?
We hear you. It's
Yes.
just you're glitching. That's all it is. But we can hear you.
Hey, Big Valley living. Valley, did I say Valley? It's like midnight.
Big Valley living. So anyways, what I decided, and I talked to everybody that showed up, let's try to give some ways for them to lessen their costs or do things a little different than what they do. So I'm going to go basically, at least in the first hour, I'm going to go through to each one of you 2 different times. We're going to do 1, we'll go around the room, and then we'll go 2 around the room and see what you guys can offer out for things to provide people some stuff that they can do. And I think the easiest one I would love to start with is Bloo. Bloo has a wonderful, wonderful idea.
I do.
And I think
I got my pencil ready.
I think it has to do with sugar,
Don't
if
do
I
it.
remember correctly.
Sugar.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
Honey,
so
honey.
here in the UK, specialty sugars like the soft brown sugar and dark molasses sugar and stuff that we all use for our baking, especially this time of the year to go in gingerbreads and all those lovely sort of yummy things, tends to be incredibly expensive, but it is really easy and cheap to make. And recently I just saved myself over £20 in our money making it myself.
Nice.
Oh, we
Wow.
Because a 5 kilo bag of granulated sugar, which is what you use, is £3.80. But
which, just for clarification, is 2 pounds 2 ounces for us, roughly.
yes, per kilo.
Per kilo, yes.
Per kilo. So yeah, £2. Yeah. So
In the kilo, like 2.2 pounds.
yes.
Yeah,
And
I think a kilo is
our money is
2.2 pounds.
So yeah. Yeah, but it's basically 500 grams, which is about a pound bag of like soft brown sugar and stuff like that, is
Right.
£1.80 a bag. Yeah, so I've just saved a lot of money doing that, and it took to do the 8 kilos of specialty sugars. Sorry, the 6 kilos of those specialty sugars took me less than 400 mils of molasses to do the whole lot. So, you know, that was like I got a 5 litre bottle of molasses, which over here you get from the vet supplies.
The vet?
It's unless you buy like the really expensive organic stuff that is like 15 quid for a little jar of it, sort of thing. Just normal molasses, and it was £9 for 5 litres. So it cost me less than 90p, so 90 cents kind of thing, for the whole lot.
Whoa.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
now, what's the ratio that you use molasses to sugar?
Okay, so for 2 kilos of the soft brown sugar, so the light one, it was 2 tablespoons. That's all I needed. About less than quarter of a cup. Less than quarter of a cup to do 2 kilos of the soft brown sugar. Then the darker one, I used half a cup to 2 kilos. And then for the dark molasses one, I used a whole cup, which was about 250 mils. So yeah, it really was incredibly easy and took seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, I've just done a video on it.
Okay.
And
I will
as
look
a
for
bonus,
that.
Yeah, and as a bonus, I did my own icing sugar, which is basically white granulated sugar stuck in a food blender and blitzed until it's a powder.
Okay.
And again, that's £1.80 for 500 grams. Well, I had the sugar, I may as well just use it. You know what I mean?
Right.
The only thing I will say with making the icing sugar is the sugar does heat up, because it does take a little bit. So when you do feel it start to, after a couple of minutes, you want to stop the mixer, let the sugar cool down, because otherwise it will melt and you'll end up with caramel.
Yeah.
And what's wrong with that?
Not one single thing.
Get some apples and just dip away.
Yep. Get your caramel leg going.
Of course, you can go to the store and buy this. I have no idea what it costs.
You're glitching up too, Ginger, just so you know that.
Sorry, Tom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just a little bit. It must be something in their area.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a Georgia thing.
Georgia?
It's a Georgia thing. Yes.
Yeah. So I've basically been able to make a year's worth of specialty sugars for pennies.
So you made powdered sugar essentially in the blender.
Yes.
That's good. I never even knew you could do that.
Yeah. Yeah, you could use a grinder, you could use a blender, use the food processor, but just be aware that it does heat up a bit and it will cake on the blades, which will stop the process. So you want to stop it. Don't put too much in the blender at once because that will create too much heat. I mean, I did that. That was my bad.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Lesson learned.
You got to learn somehow.
Yeah. Exactly. But like one of the things that I've asked for Christmas is a tabletop stone mill grinder.
Oh yeah.
Like you see in Asian videos and stuff where they're grinding soybeans and corn and stuff like that. Well, you could put it through something like that quite easily and it would turn into powder without a problem.
And it wouldn't heat up that way.
Yeah. No, and it doesn't use electric.
So
it's
could you use like
a little tabletop grinder that you just stand there and just turn it, you know?
Yeah.
And for me, anything that I can get that is a hand machine rather than an electric machine is a bonus.
Yeah, and to me, that's exactly what Tony's point with this is.
Yeah.
Is because cheapening up or using less electricity, whether you're on grid or even if you're off grid, like the others on the panel, is a benefit and will lead to lower cost.
Absolutely.
And more in the bank.
Yeah. And I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, we're being threatened with rolling blackouts here over the winter. So if we don't have hand tools and hand equipment, we're going to be stuck for what we can do. So, you know, being able to have like a hand mill or, you know, even like a food processor that you use by hand rather than, you know, with a plug-in electric one and things like that. It's all useful stuff and it's going right back to basics.
Yeah.
Where we all started from. Like my machines, my sewing machines are all hand crank ones. They're not electric. So, you know, that means that I can keep sewing. I can keep doing, you know, I can still produce food. I can still, you know, fix things that need fixing because we've got hand tools, which are the equivalent of our power tools.
I think Georgia's really having a problem.
Yeah, but their picture was way clearer when they come back in.
It did, and then boom, it went right back to the way it was.
And now it's back to the way it was. But yeah, it's just I'm just happy it's not internet via Balin wire Dale that is that way.
Yeah.
Where to begin, Homestead? Thank you for coming in.
The only thing I will say is that some hand tools are a lot more expensive than the electric equivalent, but you've got to remember that they are investment pieces. Like the stone mill that I'm looking to get will cost me around £300 to get because it's the shipping cost more than anything.
Yeah, but you're talking about something that can be handed down for generations and generations.
Absolutely. You know, so you know it's something that's there forever because it, you know, the only breakage might be a wooden foot on it, which we can repair anyway because it's a wooden foot, you know. So it's not a big deal as far as I'm concerned. That kind of thing you can fix pretty readily.
Yeah.
But yeah, or you can get secondhand tools, and secondhand tools, you know, you can go to from places like Facebook Marketplace are always selling vintage, you know, hand tools and stuff like that. People are clearing out houses from, you know, granddad's old shed and stuff like this, you know, and they're selling them for pennies, and you just do them up, clean them up. And there's so many videos out there of how to do that.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Can you hear us better?
It's way better on my end.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I turned
your
my
picture's clear.
Yep.
So I can't see the chat anymore, but we both turned our phones off. So this is the only thing running now.
That's like what we have to do here.
Yeah, I have to kick my hamsters as well. It's fine.
Yeah. Get on the internet. Get it going, boy. Get on that wheel.
Yeah.
So one thing I forgot to mention, actually, there's quite a few things I want to talk about. Number one was Big Valley Living had mentioned the 1K. Yay!
Yay! Congrats!
Yes, congratulations, Tony.
And there's up and there's down, and there's up and there's up and there's down and there's down. And as Joey knows, because he's my number one fan, I've dropped down and I've dropped up, and as of right now, I'm at 1,002. So I will take it.
We wafered like that for when we hit our 1K. We wafered like that for roughly a week, and then all of a sudden it was like magical. After 1 week of wafering like up and down, then it was like the switch flipped, and all of a sudden it was 1070.
Oh wow!
You know, and then it didn't go backwards after that. You know,
so then you were like, okay, I can rest it easy. Yeah.
Let's see if it's any better.
Tiffany?
Raise her eyebrows.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
You can't hear me. Oh.
No, we can.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear
I don't
us?
know what. Okay. It's like it's very choppy.
Yeah.
It's on. It is on this end for us too.
Choppy.
So we get it.
She gets so frustrated.
She is. So I'll go ahead and finish up what I wanted to talk about real quick. On side note.
Poor Tiffany.
We love you.
We love you, Tiffany.
See there.
So yes, Annie's also getting up to she's 2 away from hitting 1050, so that's great. I felt so sorry for Annette that she struggled with that 1,000 constantly up and down and up and down and up and down. So I'm glad it stayed for her. So there's one thing I want to let everybody know, and it was a conversation I had with an individual, and I think it's better that everybody hears it from me and knows where I'm going, at least as of right now. Hitting the 1,000 subs is an important thing. It's a milestone that needs to be hit. But I've also got 1,500 watch hours that need to be done, or just under that. That is going to take some time. And I am not in any big hurry to slam down 1,500 watch hours onto my channel, because I don't want it to be for the wrong reason. And I want to be the one stressing that to everybody. So nobody misunderstands. Nobody has a not understanding of my intention. I will get to monetization when I'm ready for monetization, and it won't be because I hit 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours. I am in a situation where I need to consider and watch what I do. And so that situation is not going to allow me to jump into monetization right away. It's got to be something that I know is stable, is a part of what I can do and what I can handle. So I don't want anybody going out there and watching 700 hours of watch time by themselves, power watching, because I don't want somebody to be upset down the road when I don't automatically become monetized, because it's not going to happen right away.
Yeah.
It's a milestone. I still want to attain it. I still want to do it. And I think it's important for the direction of my channel to do what I can, but monetization right now for me is not an option. So that being said, I do appreciate anybody that joins and watches this channel, and I hope you do like the content because that's what it's about. So
yeah,
that's right
for me. Okay.
Can I just answer Rhonda really quickly
Yes.
in the chat?
Yeah.
Rhonda, I found that those amounts were too much. They made it too dark. It wasn't what it should have been.
Yeah.
So the measurements that I have are in my sugar making video. They were what they should be and what is expected from shop bought light brown sugar, soft dark brown sugar, and molasses sugar.
Yeah.
And if you use more than that and use those kinds of amounts, you're going to get a lot darker product that's actually going to be a lot more bitter than is meant to be. And that was my finding. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how it equates because I haven't sat here and done the math on it, but mine, I do 8 cups of white sugar, 1 cup of molasses. That's for normal average. If I want light brown sugar, I do a 1/2 cup. If I want dark, then I do a 1.5 cups.
Okay. Well,
it seems to work out and it's not overly bitter for me.
This is the molasses sugar I did, or half of it. So this was 2 kilos of sugar to 1 cup of molasses.
Okay.
And that's as dark as it got. You don't want it to get darker than that. If that gets darker than that, it's going to get so bitter it's not funny. Yeah. I mean, I can get the other ones and show you, but you know, it's
mine actually doesn't even get as dark as that. My dark doesn't get that dark. So yeah. But again, that's what works for me. I mean, you got to do it off your own flavor profile.
Exactly. I mean, it may be that you have a molasses that is cooked that one more time, and it's the bootstrap molasses or the blackstrap molasses.
Right.
Whereas I didn't use blackstrap molasses because that's the one you have to buy in the shops that costs stupid amounts of money because they sell it as a health product.
Right.
So I bought the stuff that is cooked 1 time less than that, and it's more liquid, so it goes further.
Excuse me.
And it's sold as a horse supplement,
a feed additive, or a horse
feed additive, basically, and it's really cheap. So it's like, well, why not do that rather than get the really expensive stuff? It's actually not that different as far as nutrients are concerned. It's just cooked 1 more time. And once it's cooked that 1 more time from blackstrap molasses, that's when it becomes black treacle. And that's what they sell over here. Yeah. The black treacle, for the amounts that I bought, like the 5 liter, which is I'm not quite sure what it is in like fluid ounces and stuff. But if I bought the 5 liter bottle of treacle, it would have cost me £16 instead of the 9 for molasses that I used. So yeah.
And in this day and age, we're worried about the price.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the beauty of it though is there's a recipe. It's cheaper than going to the store. And I don't know about Bloo, but it takes me less than 5 minutes to make brown sugar. It's done.
Oh yeah, it took me 10 minutes to do like 6 kilos of sugar, 3 different types. So
and are we the only ones that keep that in the freezer? So
I don't keep it in the freezer.
I don't keep mine in the freezer. I have a terracotta bear that you soak for 20 minutes, put it in with your brown sugar, and it eats all the moisture right out of the brown sugar. It's awesome. If you want one, I'll give you one, Bloo.
we keep ours in the freezer, so
okay.
We don't do a whole lot of baking with it, so it's always.
I keep a bag of flour in the freezer for baking with, for making pastry.
Thank you for reminding me. I got flour that's been in there for a week. I got to go get it out. Just a heads up real quick. If you want to make sure there's no bugs or critters or anything inside your flour, stick it in the freezer for a week.
Yeah.
Done.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't like that.
No. Okay, so thank you, Blue. So we'll move. I'm just going to go this way, and we'll catch up to Tiffany if it works out. I'm not sure. We may have to bring her back next week and offer her that opportunity. Dale, what kind of things would you like to offer?
So I was hoping that Nana would make it to the late night live, but she's had a big day too. So the one thing that when Tony posed this question to me and asked for ideas that we have recently started doing and are becoming very fast believers in is we are making our own laundry soap for our washing machine. We are on a septic tank system, so we can't use like granular and stuff like that. We only use liquid. Plus, our washing machine is a HE washer, so you have to watch what you put in there, of course. High efficiency, if you didn't know that, well, that's what that meant. But so we can make 5 gallons of laundry soap for $10.
Yeah.
What?
Right now, like the laundry soap that we used to always buy, which was the cheaper, not the cheapest, but a little bit better than that, is currently like $13 a gallon. And we can make
20
this
quid here.
Wow.
Yeah, 20 quid here for what would be a gallon. Yeah.
Yep. So we can make 5 gallons for $10. So there's very few ingredients in it. There's a few ingredients that it seems expensive at the time when you buy it, but when you figure out that you use very, very, very little of it.
Sorry.
So some of those ingredients, so you have to use a Zote. It's called ZOTE laundry bar, and you use half of that for it, and that's really your most cost out of this because it's like, what is it? It's like $3.99 for the bar, and you use half of it, and you have to grate it or cut it up in very small pieces. Boiling water, boiling hot water, then borax, which seems expensive, but like I say, you're using like a tablespoon of it, and the box is a very big box, so you'll get several batches out of it. And then Arm & Hammer, I can't remember the name of it. I'll have to look at or go find the box, but it's basically Arm & Hammer laundry something. Washing soda. That's it. Yeah. Washing soda. Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah,
so and you buy all
super washing powders.
Basic Walmart.
Not like one of these, the brand new ones. It's like a tub that lays down like the old dryer did. Ours is the high efficiency that it's top load, but it works fine in that high efficiency.
What did you say, Tiffany?
It's super washing powders. If y'all can hear me.
Yep.
Yes, we hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yay!
So frustrated. Okay.
Okay. So, Dale, is there content you might be providing out on a video?
There will be a video coming. There's not one yet, but there will be one coming. And I don't know for sure if it'll be on my channel or on Nana 9 Acres, but be watching for it.
Okay.
We'll announce it on both places.
Okay.
I did want to say hello to Janet Homestead where you are, and Danny at Wicked Awesome Gardening. Thank you for popping in. Appreciate it. I'm not a soap guy, so I'm going to throw this out to those that are soap people. Maybe you guys can answer this. What's the secret for hard water homemade laundry soap that cleans, plus for sensitive skin? I've made a few that have failed. Sorry, Dale, go ahead.
I know for me, this is actually better for, I do have a little bit of like the laundry soap that smells like super good, like all the little frilly, flowery stuff. Anytime that we use that, then I'm like itching like I have poison ivy or hives or something continuously if we use that. This doesn't do that to me. Now,
but put any kind of scent in it, fragrance of any sort.
Now, I will say Nana did use, in ours, she did use essential oil for a scent. The same thing that she makes her scented candles with. And it's not affecting me, but I have figured out that lavender is what does it to me. Everyone is a big fan of lavender. Lavender and Dale do not get along very well.
You know the smell that I've always actually been able to handle a lot easier is musk oxen turd oil. It works wonders for me.
It does. It works great for me. I actually
go ahead. Blue, go ahead.
She probably put cinnamon or peppermint
the
in it.
Laundry liquid, because I make that as well, but I also make a fabric softener, which is vinegar based with glycerin, and we have incredibly hard water here, and I find that works wonders, absolute wonders. If it was just the laundry liquid on its own, everything comes out quite solid, but if you use the fabric softener as well, it's incredibly it does do the job and cuts through all of that. So yeah.
So that being said, Tiffany, if I recall, why are you looking like that? I'd see your eyes moving 100 miles an hour each way.
She's got that. What you talking about, Willis? Look on her face.
What you talking about, Willis?
Okay, guys. I think she's getting glitchy again, so I'm trying to make sure she hears me. Can you hear me? Okay. Oh. Tiffany, can you hear me?
Oh, bless her.
Okay, I'm gonna move on. I'm sorry.
Bless her heart.
Poor girl. She's frustrated.
Yeah.
Yes. When I had this problem 2 weeks ago, I had this problem. I just got on my phone because that was what I got the best signal with.
I don't think she can get on her phone. Can you get on your phone, Tiffany? If you can hear me. I think she has to go outside in order to use her phone, if I remember right.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Too cold for that.
That is not conducive to our rainy weather here in Georgia since Hurricane Nicole has decided to dump on us.
That reminds me of this short I seen from this channel that just said rainy night in Georgia.
Yeah, and he's not even in Georgia. Why did he use that song?
So how much soap do y'all make at one time?
She's gonna go check outside and see if she can work it or not. So go ahead. Okay. What was the question,
Joey?
How much soap do you make at one time?
5 gallons.
All at one time?
Mm-hmm.
How long will that last you?
We go through about a gallon a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or not a week, about 2 weeks.
Depends on how dirty Dale is.
For me and Tanny, it lasts 6 months.
Yeah.
But
did he just sit on John Deere this week, or did he crawl under it?
And that is actually that is true for us. Like in the summer, we go through a lot of laundry soap.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you're working out in the garden, you're working on the farm. I'm doing mechanic work on the side, and you just tend to get a lot dirtier and go through a lot of clothes. But I'm going to say what we're doing is we went to the hardware stores, the big box hardware store, and you can get a brand new 5-gallon bucket with a lid, a locking lid for like $2 or $3. And we make it in that. And then we started preparing ourselves. So we started saving those jugs from the bought and expensive one, cleaned them, and then we filled all those jugs up with it. So we just pull that jug down and use it. And,
there you go.
We use the vinegar bottles.
Yes.
There you go.
I love how she says that. We use the vinegar bottles.
I know.
That's what I made earlier. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay, so we'll move on to the next one, Joey and Ginger. What would you like to throw at us?
Well, let's see. Which one do you want first, Tony? Are we gonna do
Joey
two?
pick.
Which one you want to do? This one? Okay. So this is tallow. So we usually make from the hamburger when I can chili, I will cook a ton of hamburger meat and, let it all come down, get nice and brown. And then I'll take the dry off and then I put it in a crock pot, add a little bit of water and leave it in there overnight and, let it cook. And then I guess since everybody was shaking their head, everybody does that. So you guys
I
know
don't
how to do it,
but I've heard of it. Sorry.
Yes. But it's about it depends on how many times you want to clean it. So if you want to clean it to make candles, Nana probably makes candles. Yes, Dale? Yes. Okay. So she probably cleans it a bunch of times. And I like to do it quite a few times as well. But
so
go ahead.
My question is, and it's the same question I've had probably for a long time. I don't do it myself, but I have seen people do it, and I do know all you guys or theoretically have done it or do it. Is there a difference between using, say, and just hear me out because I know my cuts aren't correct, but I'm just going to go with it. If I use T-bone steaks, not T-bone steaks, some kind of steak or roast or something like that, that is not ground meat. That's what I'm trying to get to. Is there a difference between whole cuts or if it's ground, you can or can't do it? Is there any limitation to it, I guess? You're muted, Dale.
It depends on how much it's been trimmed.
Okay. And
the other thing as well is the butchers, if you go and ask your butcher, they're more than likely give it to you because they just it's all their trim of the fat and they're going to have to get rid of it anyway. And the butchers around here, if you put a couple of gold coins in their little charity bucket thing, they'll give you as much as they've got.
I don't have any gold coins, so I can't do that.
Well, that's what we've got over here for £1 and £2. You guys have still got notes, but it's the same principle.
Okay.
If you chuck something in their they've all got little charity bucket thingies that they're raising funds for. If you chuck some money in there, they'll be quite happy to give you the rest, I reckon.
So our locker or our processing plant close by, you're not going to get much tallow from them because they use it mixing in hamburger for everything. So, but I'm not going to say that places that have like just a custom meat shop, like that orders the primal and cuts it, wouldn't be option because it is optional in a lot of places.
Yeah.
And I know for us on our farm, we have started requesting when we have our custom processing done on our hogs. I've requested that they quit trimming our hog. Like I couldn't figure out why I fed this animal and it should have an inch of back fat or whatever on it, and I get it back and it's like an eighth of an inch on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is going
Good
on?
night, Danny. Thank you for coming in.
And so I talked to them, and finally after that, they're like, well, we trim everything. We trim it all off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, stop trimming my cuts.
Yeah. Now, Dale, let me ask you, do you guys make your own leaf lard as well?
No, we haven't yet, but that's something I did request that.
It comes out looking just like the tallow, so make sure you mark them.
Yeah, leaf lard is like so pure. Yeah.
So then another question is there. Go ahead. No, your turn.
I was going to say you can go here. You can go to the meat counter and you can buy leaf lard because and they do sell it, but there's a lot of it that they do throw away, so they would prefer to sell it. So you could get probably a 5-pound pack of leaf lard for, I'm going to say it is, I think I paid almost $5 for it. I mean, it is so dirt cheap here. And then you do the same process. You cut it in little pieces. I mean, it's a big, huge chunk of fat is what it is. And then you just cut it in little pieces and put it in a crock pot and boil it down or, simmer it over the 24 hours. And you do it the same way you do tallow. You put it in the fridge, let it develop its cap, and then pull it out, scrape off all the bad stuff and dump the water and then start all over again.
So just for clarification, then, is there a difference between, and please forgive me because I know I'm going to chop this up. Is there a difference between pork tallow, beef tallow, different animal tallow? I mew the tallow, is that specific to beef only, or is it called something else with a different animal?
Well, tallow's beef and lard is pork, but then if you use duck, goose, or chicken, it's schmaltz.
Okay.
Schmaltz. Okay.
Yeah, it's schmaltz. But we always do a duck around Christmas because it's just purely for the fat.
Right.
Yeah. Oh,
because
wow.
It's cheaper to buy a duck than it is for fat. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Rude.
All right.
That's what I was going to say too. Is tallow is beef.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where then pork fat and everything else would be considered something different. Now, I know here we're not big on duck fat and things like that.
Yeah.
I know in Bloo's world, duck fat is a more common.
The best thing for roast potatoes. I'm just saying.
I need to start raising ducks.
Yes. Joey, you just bought yourself some ducks, it sounds like, buddy.
He said, wow, thanks, guys.
Well, I was going to say, I'm not sure if I'm the only one, but what is the use for this?
These for that. You treat it like grease.
Okay, well, not everybody on here may not know that. I may be the only one that not knows that.
I didn't know that other than to cook with it, I would assume.
Yeah.
Well, Dale made soap out of it, or his wife made soap.
Candles, I think.
Yeah, you can make soap out of it. You can make candles out of it. You can cook with it. You can bake with it. You can,
Over
and
here,
Rhonda's exactly on it. Pork would be called lard.
Yes, people who used to use the tub of Crisco. There you go.
People that used to do what?
After you cleaned it. People used to use a tub of Crisco.
Yeah.
Crisco shortening.
Mm.
You never heard of that?
I'm thinking a bathtub. I'm like, who's going to use that much Crisco?
The tub.
I get it.
That's a whole nother video, not for here. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry.
For baking. Let me thump you in the head.
Don't please.
No, but you can use this. I mean, there's so many uses for tallow that, and most people just throw it out after they get done making their burgers. And if you can really use it for a lot of things, it's very useful. It kind of
takes, not to take over, but it kind of takes us back to an older time. Like most of us can remember growing up. What did Granny have sitting on the stove? She had a drippings jar, or they didn't depend on things like Crisco or olive oil, or they had that, and that's where this comes from. I mean,
yep.
Yeah. See, tallow over here has become really popular with a lot of people who own allotments and who grow over winter. So they use it to heat their greenhouses, and they get an old big giant can from industrial sized baked bean tin and make a giant candle out of it with a terracotta pot over the top to heat the greenhouse.
Okay.
Because a can like that will last them probably a week.
Yeah.
And that's why it's become really popular with them.
I know some people that have greenhouses too.
I know, right?
Just saying.
Yes. I'm just saying. Wow. Another thing for me to write down.
Welcome in, Jen and Krubby. Thank you for coming. Okay. Before we move on to the next thing, do you have a video, or would you be having a video on tallow making?
I do not have one, but I bet you there's 100 out there. Okay. I mean, I could make one, but I mean, I bet there is a ton of them out there. But the next time I make chili, I'll do that. I will save it to the side and say this is what it's from, and then I'll do the process of making tallow and how I clean it and everything like that. So there you go.
Okay.
How's that?
Okay.
Daddy said, I see you up there. Daddy said, you better make a video.
All right. My turn. Everybody got their utensils to write with.
Got my pencil.
What? We need to write stuff?
Well, if you want to. If you want to, you don't have to.
What is this?
I'm going to give you guys a bulk brownie recipe. Made out of primarily probably things.
Look at him. Oh, he Dale
all
said,
right, are we ready?
I'm not even gonna write it.
So in all honesty, I was inspired for this recipe from the Old Farm's Wife. It's where I originally got it, and I've modified it a little bit for myself because I didn't like the way it was turning out. So 8 cups of granulated sugar. This is a bulk recipe. 8 cups of granulated sugar.
Okay, Dale just
2 cups. Yeah. Dale's like, I'm gone. I'm out of here. 2 cups of cocoa powder.
Okay.
6 cups of flour.
Slow down, Einstein.
Wow. Moving a little slow this AM, are you?
Dude, some of us haven't slept yet.
Would that be self-rising or all-purpose, or does it
I can't
matter?
talk. I was told to slow down, so I'm going to wait until she.
I know you can do now.
But
some of us are trying to stay awake.
I use all-purpose flour. You make your choice. I've never made it with anything other than that.
Okay.
4 teaspoons of baking powder. 4 teaspoons of salt.
Ew.
She said, "Ew."
You've got 16 cups of powder there. I don't think 4 teaspoons is going to hurt you very much. Okay. So I'm here to tell you, put this in a very large mixing bowl. Do not try to do it in a standard size bowl because you will not have enough space. I'm here to tell you, as Leanne would say, ask me how I know. Okay.
I have visions of Tony's kitchen going.
Yes.
Yes.
Use a whisk and whisk it for about 10 minutes. You want to make sure it's all mixed up. You got to make sure it's mixed up. You have to. Okay.
That's a lot.
Or if you have a mixer large enough, go ahead and do that on the very low speed. You do not want it.
Yeah.
Or the toilet towel over the top so you keep all the stuff in.
Hey, I love you, so you do you. How's that sound?
You know?
No, you don't
so
want the
mixer
mixer
spray
to
everywhere.
what?
I don't what?
You don't want the mixer to do what?
You don't want it to go. I'm not even going to repeat that.
Yeah, all you do is you grab a tea towel and you wrap it around the bit where it's going to come flying out, so it doesn't come flying out.
I thought you were my number one fan, Joey.
Oh my God.
Okay, so once you have that done, I store mine in 2 quart size canning jars, and it holds it. Okay.
How many quart jars does this make? Just 2 and all that?
2 is what I get out of it.
Okay.
I'm tamping it down too as I'm filling it. Okay, so it's packing down in there, just so you know that.
Okay.
Okay, now here's the recipe. Here's the other part. This part 2 to the recipe. Okay, so that's the mix itself. Okay.
Okay.
So you're going to add in a mixing bowl when you make this 2 1/4 cups of brownie mix.
Of what?
Brownie mix.
Brownie mix. What you just made.
Oh, okay.
2 eggs.
What size eggs? Does it matter?
Depends on how big the hole is they come out of.
Well, there's a difference between a normal chicken, a big chicken like a leghorn chicken, and a bantam. Do you know what I mean?
I buy large eggs. That's what I'm going with.
He prefers an ostrich, 2 ostrich eggs.
Yes. Do not use ostrich. Yeah. Don't do it. Joey, don't use this recipe with your new duck eggs either.
It would probably be 1 duck egg.
Huh?
It'll be 1 duck egg.
Check with the kids.
Yeah.
Okay. Did I get 2 teaspoons of vanilla? I don't remember
Not
if I
yet.
said that.
No.
Okay.
We didn't give you a chance to say anything.
No, you didn't, but that's okay. 1/4 cup of melted butter. Now I'm here to tell you, I did not have melted butter and I used oil and it turned out just fine. I wouldn't use an olive oil though, because it'll taste different.
Did you say a cup?
1/4 cup.
1/4 cup.
Okay.
Could it be a test, Blue?
Then I add 2
Rewind.
I use 2 1/3 cup of milk. Okay.
2/3.
No, 2/3, not 2 2/3. 2/3. Sorry. Thank you for the look, Dale. It caught me off guard, so it made me think about it. 2/3, 2/3.
Okay.
Okay, mix well. There you go. You want to put it into an 8x8 pan. I would assume greased would be better. 30 to 35 minutes.
40 strokes. 40 strokes only.
There you go. Strokes. That's right.
What temperature is the oven on?
Excuse me. What, Dale?
Oh my gosh.
I said 40 strokes only. Blue has a more pressing question.
Yes, ma'am. 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which I believe is 180 degrees Celsius.
Gas mark 5.
Gas mark 5. You are correct.
Okay.
You guys are hilarious.
30 minutes.
Okay.
30 to 35
I've already went
minutes.
over this, but I'll repeat it for you one more time.
Thanks.
30 to 35
Blue made
minutes.
me laugh. Dale said, I feel like I'm teaching my students again. Can y'all please pay attention to me?
Okay, now, so you got all that. That's the recipe, but I'm going to give you 2 variations to that. Okay. My daughter loves peanut butter. Mm-hmm. So I throw in a cup of peanut butter and it comes out just fine. Okay.
I'll be back in a second, guys.
Okay.
All right.
Or my mom likes more of a fudgy taste, and so I will throw a half cup of chocolate chips inside of it.
Oh, that sounds like right up my alley.
So
I like the chocolate chips.
There you go.
So
now that will produce, if you think about it, a box of brownie mix produces basically the same size as this does. Mm-hmm. This will theoretically give you 8 hands at that size. So you do the math, multiply it by $1.50, $2 a box.
Yeah,
that's $16. I already have all this stuff sitting here. I didn't have to go buy a box of anything. It's already sitting here at my house.
Yeah, and the having it ready made as a mix.
Ready made as a mix. Yep.
Makes it even more accessible, or you'd be more likely to do that than to go buy a box.
Right. Mine's sitting right over there on the windowsill. I know where it's at all the time. Sorry, Joey.
Can you tell the difference in the taste between this and store-bought?
This tastes much better.
Yeah.
Now, I will be honest with you. The only difference, in all honesty, the major difference I notice, I'm with Dale, I think he said earlier, I don't like a cakey brownie. I like a fudgy brownie. Mm-hmm. And I go more with the chocolate chips being added because it makes it more chocolatey, fudgy tasting.
I want to have a brownie. I don't want to have cake.
And that is where you got to watch out. As a matter of fact, so the original recipe only calls for 1 teaspoon of vanilla. It calls for no milk, and it was too dry for me. I really could not do it. So I went this way and then added the chocolate chips. And for me, it comes out perfect with the chocolate chips.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's why I said 40 strokes and 40 strokes only of mixing.
Yes.
Because if you over mix brownies, they become cake.
They do. Mm-hmm. You are correct.
So you just want it to stir enough to just moisten it. That's it.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. But see, I do that with all my cakes and brownies and cookies anyways. I only go enough to incorporate it. I'm not sitting there letting it go for 10 hours. Now in the video that 3 videos I sent out today that were not supposed to be public. In those videos, you will see that my mixer stayed on for 8 minutes. I don't even remember if it shows it or not. But I was making a bread at that time, a bread dough. It needs to sit there and knead. So that. But typically when I'm making brownies, cakes, cookies, I only mix it enough to just incorporate it. I'm not sitting there overdoing it.
Yeah, because you don't want to activate the gluten.
Right. Yeah, once that gluten hits a dessert, you're toast, usually.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some that require it, but not most of the time. So
not brownies.
Not brownies. Anyways, any questions? I do, if I remember right, some of in my older videos, I believe the brownie recipe is in there. So
add some pecans to it. It sounds amazing.
Walnuts, pecans. I've actually had one lady that did honey roasted peanuts and marshmallows. She added to it.
Grated beetroot or zucchini.
What? I heard the zucchini, but I didn't hear the first part.
Beetroot.
Did you just say beet juice?
Beetroot.
Oh.
Check your batteries, Alma. Seriously.
No, she didn't say beet juice.
Oh, Sister Act. I love it.
It's beet.
Beta juica.
No.
Beetroot.
I'm trying to throw you guys off.
Yeah, beetroot. I think you guys just call them beets.
Tiffany says she's back.
Hi, Tiffany, but I don't see you down below, so I'm assuming you're chatting with us.
And if you do add like zucchini or grated beets to it, you can cut half the sugar out.
Yes. You won't be able to tell. Don't look at me like that.
Me and Joey are on the same page. You mentioned the word beet.
Right. I'm thinking red. I'm gone.
He said, I'm going to beat it.
It'll actually add to the brownness of the brownie. It sort of brings more of the red of the brown out, if that makes sense. But one, it's good for kids who are fussy eaters and won't eat their vegetables because then they think they're just having brownies. When actually they're having a salad. So,
there's that.
But again, you can cut down the amount of sugar that you put in it as well because you do that because a lot of root vegetables are very high in sugar, especially beets. See, we don't have cane sugar over here. We have.
You guys have beetroot sugar, don't you?
We have sugar beets, which are different to beetroot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in all honesty, you're not alone there because if you don't use C&H sugar and there's two others, I think it's beetroot sugar.
Right.
It's not sugar cane or cane sugar.
Yeah,
all of it over here.
Sugar beets.
Yeah.
Because they're not the red ones. They're actually white.
Right. Yeah.
And they're not.
And they get kind of big, don't they?
Yeah, they're about that size.
That's what I thought.
Size of your head. Yeah.
What kind of statement was that? Size of my head.
I think
it have been the size of Ginger's or Joey's head.
I know they could be. I haven't grown them for years.
She said,
Tiffany's having weather issues, so that's where it's at. So I do want to let everybody know we will continue this again next week. So maybe we can have Tiffany back next week to talk about what she was going to. So any questions on the brownie? Just so I don't move on without anything being answered. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, you were going to go over it again. Time?
Oh my Lord, really?
35 minutes?
35 minutes, Ginger.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Blue, since Tony's going to be mad at me.
I did write it down. I was a good girl. I did write it down.
I did too. Apparently, I'm getting detention.
Y'all think it's easy? It's not easy on this end.
There. Now look in the chat. Look in the chat.
I can't.
She can't.
If
she doesn't have chat.
Go back on the replay. Your instructions are right there.
Oh my. Okay. I'm scared. I'm scared to talk.
Oh.
There you go, Ginger.
Thank you, Blue. You're so sweet.
You're fine, Tiffany. Don't stress it. It is what it is. Good night, Janet. Thank you. Okay, so we'll move on down the line, but I'm going to go backwards this time. So we'll go to Ginger and Joey this time.
Oh,
what's
gosh,
your next item?
Coming right back to us, huh? Okay.
Boom.
This is the easy one.
Oh, that looks like a banana or a nose picker.
It's the magic nose picker.
Loofah. Yeah.
Oh, it's
I don't think that would work. That would really hurt.
It was a
It's the loofah.
I was like, what is that?
Yes, this is a dried loofah. So it's very awesome. I love it. Now,
I'll be right back. Just go ahead and continue. Okay. Sorry.
Originally, we had planted the loofahs because they're very viney and their leaves get like, well, let me go there. Their leaves get really big, and the Georgia summer sun, when it is right midday above us, is just scorching. And it was scorching a lot of our plants. So we made a trellis and planted the loofahs. We have a loofah land, and then I planted loofahs over a lot of my plants that I have in my block garden. So they vined up, and they did exactly what I wanted them to do. I mean, they shaded all of the plants from that bad afternoon sun that's straight above. So, and the bonus was that it grew loofahs. Now, I didn't try to, my understanding is you can pick them young when they're like the size of a small zucchini, and you can use them almost like a zucchini, like as a filler in a soup. Just peel it and dice it up, or you can let them grow to maturity, which is what this was, and then let it just dry out partially, break it open, clean out all the seeds and everything, and then dry the actual shell out. And I cut these in pieces and use them for kitchen sponges. Yeah. So these do not mold or smell like a kitchen sponge smells after, a couple weeks. It starts souring and stuff like that. These don't get like that.
I throw mine away after 3 days.
And these have like a Brillo pad almost feel, but it's not that I want to say not that aggressive or abrasive to your pots. Yeah. Once they get wet and they've soaked a while, they really can get quite soft, but yet they still have that texture, so they can get off like pork chops, little bits, or cube steak bits, or something like that.
Being that it's a growing item, does it have a tendency to get slimy? No.
This?
Okay. Yeah.
No, no, it's completely dry and hollow.
Hi, Tasha. Thank you for coming in.
See it in there. Can you see it's hollow?
Oh, okay. Okay, now I do. Yeah.
Do you see it? Is there a piece up there of a little one? Oh, Joey's showing you.
No, that's fine. I get it.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people take, like the ones that Joey has here, they'll take this and cut it like right here. Right. And they'll stick it in a soap mold, pour the soap in there, and make a loofah soap out of it. Okay, and give them away as Christmas gifts. I've seen them colored red and pink and yellow and all that stuff. And they're actually really appealing to the eye. They look like a really sweet gift. And everybody's, I want one of those, So, yeah. So it started out as one purpose. It served that purpose. Getting the dried loofahs was a definite bonus. What did she say?
Ginger,
I need to see your tractor.
Yeah, send me your address. My email is in my about page. Send me your address. I will send you free loofah seeds. Girl, I got them.
Did Joey just tell Dale that he could use it to clean his tractor?
Oh, did you just tell Dale he could use it to clean his tractor?
I said they'll clean the white walls on a John Deere tractor.
And he said they'll clean the white walls on a John Deere tractor there, Dale.
Oh, there you go. All right. Anything else on loofah?
No, that's it.
Any
I mean, I
questions?
did not try eating them, but that was what I have learned and have heard that you can. Now, Blue, do you have any experience on cutting them younger and eating them? Yes. And what did they taste like?
Just like a zucchini. Just like a zucchini,
Okay.
but you don't want to get them bigger than that.
Yeah.
You get them bigger than that, that's when the threads start to develop on the inside, and you're going to get a really stringy, horrible mess in your mouth. It's just not worth it. Yeah. So don't.
It's vile.
Yeah, it's not nice.
She likes the smaller ones.
Yes. Yes. And I had so many of those, and they got killed by the frost. It was so sad.
Oh.
But yeah, that's it for the loofahs. I mean, they served a dual purpose, but I'm telling you, the best part is that they shaded so many other plants.
Right.
They saved my purple bell peppers. They saved my rosemary. They saved my 2 lemon balm bushes. Countless number of things that would have really just gotten sun scald, because this summer it was horribly hot. And by that time, they had already vined up and shaded. So they served 2 purposes.
So I take it they have a very long growing season.
They do. For us, they do not like the cold weather. I can tell you that. They like to be planted straight where you're going to plant them. They don't like to be planted in a pot and then transplanted. They get a little stubborn.
I have found, though, that if you get a root trainer pot, you know, the long ones.
Yes.
Okay. They will be okay if you use those, because you're not trying to push them out, because you can actually, because they open up sideways. You're okay if you do it that way in a root trainer pot.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. But they can be divas. Okay. You're absolutely right, and I wouldn't put them in like a seedling tray at all. But
so
yeah,
I don't know about
you get away with.
I don't know about anybody else, and I know I'm greatly outnumbered here, but I'm hearing they're slightly moody. They kind of do their own thing. So we're going to refer to them as that plant is all female, right?
Yeah. No.
Wow, Dale.
I'm sitting here thinking, how do you figure that you're outnumbered? There's 3 guys to 2 girls. What are you talking about?
Look at the chat.
Oh, that part, yes.
Yes.
The other thing that you can grow them in to start off, if you can't get root trainer pots, are old toilet rolls.
Oh, wow. I have tried starting stuff in toilet rolls, paper rolls, or even paper towel rolls.
You just put the whole thing on the ground, and you're not disturbing the roots at all. So, just one of those.
Oh, that's a perfect idea. That is a perfect idea. Yeah. But once they're established,
I don't know if it's stuck.
I mean, once they were good and established, I actually let Mother Nature take over, and I did not water them very much after that. They put in a good sized taproot, went right down, and took off right up that lattice. But you better give them something to grow on.
Yeah.
So there is something else I do want to talk about, and this has nothing to do with the conversation we're having tonight, but it was something that I've caught on to, and I just wanted to throw out there. And it may be rumor, so I'm not professing I know this for a fact. I'm just saying this is one of the guidelines I think I've pretty much have already followed, but I just want to repeat it. If you are on my chat, which none of you guys have done, so please don't, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody here or anybody to my knowledge, actually, that I can think of. I just want to make this statement. Supposedly YouTube's going to start cracking down on smoking and drinking on live streams, and we don't do that on mine. But if we do, hide yourself. Nobody needs to see it. That's your own business. That's all I'm asking. Okay. Yeah. If you want to come up, you guys again don't fit into this. If at some point I throw out a link to come up and it specifically usually is going to be for one person, and you pop up, you're not coming up unless I can see you. If I can't see you, you're not coming up.
Yeah.
No hard feelings, no nothing. That's protection of me, my channel, and my viewers. So I think we're all on the same page on that. So, okay. All right.
Now,
so
I see a lot of channels.
Yes,
drinking in particular.
Yes.
And they're going to crack down on that because that's a lot to cover. A lot of people to.
Again, I stressed it was a rumor, so I don't know for sure. I wanted to reiterate the format I'm holding. And
I think it's making sure that the channels who are doing it are rated for 18 plus, because a lot of them are rated family friendly and they're not.
And they're not. Yes.
Oh,
okay. So yeah, I think that's basically what it's about, is making sure that your rating is proper.
Yeah.
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 Hello, Cindy Brown. Thank you.
Not family friendly because I have a very naughty mouth from time to time. I do my best to make it behave, but sometimes it all just slips out.
You don't have a naughty mouth. You have a passionate mouth.
Yeah.
A passionate mouth. I like that. A passionate mouth.
You sure you don't work in education?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course I work in education. And I was a chef who educated other chefs. So yes, lots of mouth.
There you go.
All right. So we'll move from the loofah back over to 9 Acre Family Farm. What else do you have for us?
I'm going to flip the script a little bit. We kind of been talking about household stuff and things like that. And when Tony talked about this, part of our building the community, becoming more self-reliant, stuff like that, a lot of us have got the gateway drug to homesteading going on, which is the chickens and stuff like that, right? So we have started here, and I know for some of the people this is going to be old hat, but a lot of people get this whole flock of chickens, and then like I talked about in the last live, chicken feed has went from $9, roughly a 50-pound bag, to $20 to $30. So we started finding supplies for whole grains from local farmers, and we soaked that whole grain, actually let it ferment, sprout, ferment, both, and feeding that instead. And we can do that and get us back down to that lower price for our feed.
Cool.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So so scratch grain in our area has got almost to $22 a 50-pound bag. I can go to the local grain elevator or a local farmer, and I can buy that same grain for $4 or $5, that same amount.
Wow.
And then soak it, get that same relative feed value out of it, and my chickens are actually doing better, laying better, and happier with it. So
that's good.
So you've completely replaced it with it's not like you're integrating half and half. You've completely replaced it.
In fact, we've actually went to feeding thirst. I understand that's not feasible for everyone, Cindy. If you're in an extremely urban area.
No. She's asking you, is there no one to get spent grain from around there, meaning your area?
Yes. And there is. I would have to spend an additional gas money to get to that place, but I do take advantage of that. Like, it's harvest time here right now. We were driving down the road, Lisa and I were the other day, and where the combine had unloaded onto a truck along the side of the road, there's spilt grain on the road, that they drive off because it's a 5-gallon bucket. It's not worth their time. Well, to us, that was great feed. We stop, scoop that up. We bring that home. We soaked it, and then we fed our pigs in the freezer camp pen. That, and oh my goodness, tails wagging and barking and running all over. They thought it was the greatest thing ever.
Wow.
Cool.
So we've started doing more and more about altered
brewery.
Huh?
Yes.
Another good place to get stuff like that from the local breweries. If you have a brewery near you or they want to get rid of their mash, it makes really good pig and chicken feed.
I bet you those pigs and chickens are happy when they get that.
They don't want to run away because they know where the good stuff's coming from.
What was that, Dale?
We posted on our Facebook page about a week ago. Right after, the holiday, that pumpkins are like extremely popular, and everyone has all these pumpkins to get rid of because now there's this thing on their porch that they no longer want there. We'll take them all because we throw them into our animal pens, and oh my goodness, like I had 2 days worth of feed from people just giving us pumpkins.
Right. Wow, that's awesome.
You want to be a little careful with that because there seems to be a trend at the moment where people are putting essential oils into the pumpkins to make them smell better. So you want to check out what's in them first. So if they smell like spices, just check it is a spice and not the essential oil, because you could actually.
So if it's a spice, you're okay. If it's a spice girl, you're not okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm offended.
I'm just saying.
Anyways,
is that what she wants? Really wants?
Yes, exactly.
No, that's what I want. What I really, really want. You want it? You want it? You want it? You want it?
Tony's gonna be singing in a minute. You better watch that back.
You do know that I'm a metalhead, right? I don't listen to poppy crap, so I just I forget
poppy crap.
These things.
Hey, Blue, don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me?
He must have took a couple Advils.
No, I didn't. I'm just moving okay, so I feel a lot better right now for some reason.
Okay.
All right, Dale, are you done with that discussion?
Yes.
Okay, Miss Blue, what is up next on your line?
Morning.
Oh yeah. Okay, I got it. It's okay.
Here it is. Everybody,
I make my own cleaning vinegar.
Go ahead.
I make my own cleaning vinegar, and this is what I have left of my citrus vinegar. This 5 liter lasts us a year, 6 months to a year.
Wow.
Depends how much mess Tanny's making around the place and how much I have to clean up after him, really. So yeah, but I get. So I don't buy vinegar at the supermarket. It's too expensive. Way too expensive. All right. I get it from the Asian grocery stores, and they sell 4 of those. So 20 liters for probably a quarter of the price of the supermarkets. And it gets delivered to the door. So I'm like, and that's enough vinegar for us for a year.
Yeah.
So I do one I fill an empty one of these with orange peels. Fill it with orange peels. And then just refill that with a bunch of white vinegar until it's to the top. And I put it in a dark cupboard away for about 2 months. And just leave it. Or until this runs out, you know, because I've always got a separate one on the go. I only use this one on surfaces like cupboards and benches because we have a cat. Now, if you have dogs or cats that jump around on the floor, you don't want to be using citrus vinegars on the floor. So I also do one of these that's got pine needles filling the whole thing, or some kind of cypress or something like that, because then you get the antibacterials and such. Yeah, so I don't use lemon because cats can't have lemon at all. Okay, so even the smell of the lemon essential oil could actually make the cat really, 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 really sick. Okay, so I use the orange, not as damaging, but if we had a dog, I would use lemon because it's the other way around. So yeah. But
now I have pine needles to spare here, but you actually pack that with regular pine needles you get from the yard.
Yeah, I go foraging for them and go and nick them off the side of the road. And just fill one of those containers with it. And then just leave it in the
let it set
for a couple of months. Yeah. Or until I need it. Yeah, but the citrus is a really dodgy one around animals, especially cats and dogs. You need to be really, 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 really careful. So, yeah.
Well, okay. Do you have another alternative other than those three? If you have, say, in my case, I have a cat and a dog.
Just use the pine.
Oh,
I don't like the pine so much. I live in Pine
You asked me, dude.
That's why I said, do you have an alternative other than the three?
The other option is if you have a eucalyptus tree anywhere near you. No. Or tea tree somewhere anywhere near you. That's another option. You could do mint.
That I can get anywhere.
But I've never tried it, and it's not really something that you'd use for cleaning with.
Okay.
Because there's nothing in it that would really help the cleaning process. The whole idea of the citrus one is that citrus oils are natural degreasers, especially orange. So if you want to clean the top of your oven, or you want to clean your oven, you want to clean the benches because they've got fat spatter or whatever, orange vinegar is the best one to use. But you only use a cup of the vinegar to like 10 liters of water, which is like what? It's just a normal mop bucket of water. Yeah. So you don't need a lot. And that's the same with the floor cleaner. You only use a cup of it to a mop bucket of. That's why it takes so long for us to go through it, because we just don't need it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's awesome.
Because other than the cat, there's only the two of us.
Got it.
But yeah, so.
I love that pine needle. And does the pine needle one end up smelling more like pine and less like vinegar?
It smells like Carolina pine forest.
Oh, yeah.
The whole thing actually just evaporates incredibly quickly. We were worried that the house would start smelling like a chip shop, and we really didn't want that. We didn't want it smelling like the local takeaway, but actually, it's not bad. It goes within an hour, it's gone, the whole lot. So yeah,
I'm okay. I love Lysol.
Tree leaves bark. You could, but be very careful on what oils you use, because if they're synthesized oils and not actual oils, and you'll know by the price of it.
Which is defeating the point of what we're trying to say.
Yes. I tend to forage everything, and for some reason, people over here think it's a really good idea to have eucalyptus trees everywhere. I don't know why that is.
Tasha, thank you.
Because they like don't belong over here. But
They're extremely invasive too. Once they get in one place, it's like bamboo. They just take over.
Yeah, it's not just that, but the branches drop with no notice. And after living in Australia for long enough and having one come crashing through our roof, and we didn't even hear it until it hit the roof.
Oh my.
They just drop their branches. There's no, they don't even give a cracking warning like you would do from an oak tree or something like that. They just drop.
Holy
it's not great. No, it doesn't smell. It doesn't have that really hospital pine smell. I know what you're talking about. Mint is antimicrobial, but it only works within the body, not outside.
Oh, now we're talking about in the body.
In the body. It works that way within the body.
Just call me Doctor Who.
Weird, but true. Yeah.
All right. So we'll move on to the next one, which is mine. Woohoo!
Woohoo, Tony!
Okay, this is for the kids, even though I know I have some adults that act like kids, so it might apply to you as well. But let's talk Jello.
Jello?
Yeah.
Yes. So my son takes Jello. My son takes Jello to in his lunch. And it's gotten to the point where it's $2.99 and $1.99 a pack of 4. If you're lucky. Yes. So I last year said on this, and I went and did some investigating, and prices have gone up like everything else. But with the packaging and the Jello cost, I can make it for 37 cents for a 2-ounce portion cup. The store is going to be 75 cents a cup.
Yep.
Oh, wow. That's a great savings.
And I'm also getting 4 times as much for that same price.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and
like in our deli,
he takes it 5 days a week.
Say that again.
He takes it 5 days a week, as where the 4-pack you would run out.
I have to get 2 4-packs a week to make it last for him, unless we have a holiday, which then by chance I'm not spending as much. And that's if I do it, but I don't do it that way anymore. He's just got it down in the bottom of the refrigerator and he goes and grabs it. Because the deli here, I can get 100 2-ounce portion cups with lids for $26. Now that sounds like a lot, and I understand that, but that's only 26 cents for the 2-ounce serving. That's not that bad when you look at it that way. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then the Jello I can get for like $1.15 a box. It's a 6-ounce box, but I'm able to make, what did I figure, 38 ounces out of each box of Jello. Why wouldn't I do it that way?
Wow.
Yeah.
So if anybody's interested, you can go over to my channel and look it up, because my very first video I ever put out was how to make Jello easier. Now, I need to redo it because the prices are a little different. What?
How do you store it?
He doesn't make all
because it's on the lid, and then we have a big food storage container. We just put them in there for him, so he's got them, and he just picks out whatever one.
So you don't have to refrigerate them, though.
Yes.
Yes,
in the bottom
I do refrigerate them, but you don't have to once they've solidified. I do it that way, but you don't have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you do 19 at a time.
18, 19, it just depends. Because there is some of the packages, even though it says 6 ounce on it, sometimes it's 5 3/4. It's not a full 6 ounce, so that throws it off. But typically I get 19 of them a time.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So,
and he gets to choose what flavor he wants.
I'm making 3 flavors. I change it every time I redo it. I change the flavors, but he gets to pick them. And 9 times out of 10, I've never figured this out, because I was a cherry, a raspberry, a strawberry. lime. He wants lime every time. He loves the lime one.
Wow.
You had me at cherry. You lost me at lime.
Yes.
Yes. I did a lot of Jellos over the summer with fruit in them. And we
Thank you, Cindy.
enjoyed the heck out of them. But the lime one, yeah, no, neither one of us. I ended up throwing that one away because neither one of us
Jello
taste.
Yeah, Jello here. I can't keep in. Jello is Jello is just as important as bread and milk in this house.
Really?
It is. Yeah. He goes through it, and it's like it's water and 6 ounces of powder. Why wouldn't I let him have it?
Yeah,
it's better than a bag of Doritos.
Way better.
You know.
Yes.
And
you
can do it.
Go old school with it as well.
Sorry.
You could go really, really old school with it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so originally jelly and gelatin and all that sort of stuff was made from calf's foot.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Collagen.
And if you cook them down, you get the gelatin. You just have to flavor it how you want.
Yep.
Wow. Look at Dale. He knew that.
And again, it's just a an off product that butchers and processors don't want.
Now, the flip side to that is I have a 13-year-old daughter who won't touch this stuff because she thinks it's made with cow bones, and she's not about to eat cow bones.
Wow. The fact
that's fine. Your brother will eat it, and he loves it, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, there is a veggie version.
Do what?
That's made from seaweed, and that's agar.
Ah.
Oh, I forgot about that, actually.
Yeah, so you can get that as well, and you can create it yourself because you can actually buy the agar yourself. So,
well, and then I'll even throw an additional out here. You can also throw fruit into Jello.
Yeah,
which is old school for all of us. I'm sure all of us sitting up here have had that at some point in time in our life. But kids nowadays don't even think, they don't do that. And I understand some people got that. I don't want my food touching thing. I get that. But like once I showed Isaiah,
I don't get it.
I'm being nice and gracious and letting them have their issue, okay? But when I took orange Jello and I threw a mandarin orange or 2 in each one of those, he was like, "This is so good. Why didn't you do this before?" It's like, because I didn't think you'd eat it. So, anyways. Yes.
I think Cindy's got a thing here. Couldn't you use reusable containers? Yes, you probably could, but you know what kids are like when you give them something to go to school with.
Right.
We used to go through probably 8 or 9 lunch boxes per child per year.
Yeah.
Let alone the inserts. It got to a point where it just wasn't worth buying them anymore. So yeah, as much as it would be great to have reusable containers, that the reality is most kids will accidentally chuck it out or lose it. So yeah.
Nana works in a high school kitchen cafeteria, and you would be surprised how many young individuals throw away their Invisalign daily.
Yeah.
And it's the same kiddos that they have to go dig through the trash can to pull it back out, or try to find it.
They throw away what?
Their Invisalign. So now instead of braces, they use that invisible thing.
Oh my gosh.
So to answer that question, I just went and looked. I didn't realize that the lady gave me 5.5 ounce containers, not 2 ounce containers.
Wow. He's been living on the high life.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has. We just found these at Walmart, reusable. The thing I get what everybody's saying about the kids and everything. That is one thing I can say about our kids. For whatever the reason is, they always bring their spoons and they always bring their containers back. So for him, I have no issue with doing this, and it saves on the waste of this. Yeah. I just got to get enough of these to make enough.
I was going to say,
quit sticking your finger in my nose.
Up your nose with a rubber hose, okay?
This one or this one? What are you pointing at?
No, the reusable one, this one.
That one.
That one.
Yes.
You just have to get like what you make 39 at a time, 38 at a time.
Well, these come in. I think it's 4 in a pack, and it was $2.95 or something like that.
Okay.
So yes, I would have to get 5 of them. Yes, and it's an expense, but if you look at what I spent on this,
I was gonna say,
to have it reusable, I would have enough, and I would have paid for less than what I paid for that.
Yes, so, exactly.
There is a trade-off, and there are some costs. Oh, good night, Rhonda.
Rhonda, I wish I was out in your country.
Bye, Rhonda.
Come eat pancakes, hunting pheasant tomorrow, but I'm not gonna be there.
See, now Cindy has it good. Her kids would even bring the Ziploc bags home.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I had about half and half, but see, I had a lot of foster kids and a lot of kids that just weren't used to taking stuff with them, so they didn't really think about it, bringing it back. Right. So, you know, we had half the kids would and half the kids wouldn't.
Right. So we've been on here for 1 hour and 40 minutes. I hear a little yawning going on, so I think I'm going to go ahead and wind it down. But what I would like to say is I think we'll do this again next week, assuming Tiffany can come back. Tiffany had 2 great ideas. She was going to show us how to make homemade dish soap.
Well, yeah, I want that one.
Huh?
I want that one.
Yep.
And all then the ones that I find seem to have dish soap in them.
Yeah, the only thing she has, the only thing she has in the one she has that I was wondering about is it uses, like Dale would say, it uses, I think, a teaspoon or a tablespoon of borax, but she said she only uses that for thickening because if you don't, it's really running and you don't want to use it running out.
To make it gel.
Oh, she's right there. She's still in here. I wasn't sure if she was. So I do want her to come back and tell us about that. Plus, she had another thing, and I'll leave that one alone. She can tell us about that one. And I was thinking, what do you guys think about? And she actually is in the room. What do you guys think about Big Valley joining us next week?
Okay.
Like
Big Valley Living.
Yeah.
All right. I'll reach out to her and see what she says, but I got a couple channels that are interested in joining us for this conversation, contributing to it. So I want to, if we can, I want to try to get them in here. But I want to continue this because I think this was very good. It was very receptive by the people in the chat. And again, it's all about, we talk about how bad it is, but the reality is there are shortcuts. There are easy ways. There are cheaper ways to do things. You just got to be willing to do it, and you got to get out there and learn how to do it. I mean,
I think a lot of people are worried because it'll take a lot of time. But to be honest with you, most of the things don't take as long as you think they're going to take.
No.
You know, and we've all like with the laundry detergent stuff and things, you know, I have that going while I'm doing other stuff in the kitchen because it's not like you have to stand over it the whole time, you know, and it's only like half an hour out of your day. Well, if you're already doing the dishes or doing something else,
thank you, Cindy. Right.
You know,
so Cindy brought up a very good point. So here's what I think we're going to do, because people show an interest in this type of topic for right now. Unless something major comes up that we have to have a different type of discussion, I think what I'm going to plan is this. You guys are willing to do it and can do it. And all of you don't have to. If one of you got something going on, that's fine. That's great. But I think next week we'll continue the same conversation. We'll come back with 2 different things that each of us might have. We'll get Tiffany a chance to do hers. We'll see what Big Valley Living has to say. The following week, me and Dale were talking about something, and I really want to touch on it specifically. Excuse me. One of the things that goes into this whole trying to make this work. Let's come up with some recipes that each of us might have that are under a half hour, 5 items or less, or under $10 a meal for a family.
Of 4.
Of 4.
Okay.
That's another. We're back to the solution part of it again, trying to give out recommendations of ways to do it and help out. So,
okay,
not next week. That would be the week after.
Yep.
I do want to come back to that gentleman right there at some point in time, because he's got information regarding building and contracting and things like that we've not touched on. But I want to wait until we're through this where we're at. And then that will tie right into what Cindy's asking for, because his conversation, as well as in the same night, I think we'll revisit where our prices are at. And then we can start into the next one about budgeting and setting things up that we were going to talk about. Okay.
Yep.
We're also talking about starting. Thank you. I appreciate it. I always have a great show when you're on, Joey. It's always awesome.
I'm your biggest fan.
You're my biggest fan. That's right. Yep. Joey Kathleen Bates. Oh, wait. Kathleen Joey Bates. I should have said it the right way. Sorry. I know that really twisted things around, because all of us have had conversations about what we were going to do, but I think I would like to attack it in that direction. I think it'll help. We can have a conversation afterwards about all that. So anything else anybody wants to add?
No, but I love the idea that you and Dale have. Next week is good too, but the week after, because people can grocery shop.
Right.
And if you've only got like 3 to 5 items in a recipe, grocery shopping, even if it's from your pantry, is super simple.
Yeah.
So what I would like to do, and I'll just throw it out there, Tiffany's in here and Big Valley Living's in here. And I'll talk with Kris to remind her, just so she knows. Why don't you guys you guys let me know how many you got, and then we'll just figure out how we're going to do that. Unless you guys just want to go
well
with 2
to
or
have
3.
everybody bring 2 recipes.
Okay. So let's go with 2 then. Each square gets 2.
Okay.
You're gonna have to remind me, because I'm brain dead.
No, that's fine. I'll do that.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody have anything else?
Thank you.
All right. Don't forget Noodle November. It's out and about. Check it out.
My recipe comes out tomorrow.
Woo woo.
Woo woo.
I think all 3 of them have videos coming out within the next week or 2. So am I right?
Dale already had his.
Your better half. That's
the beautiful half of my house.
Oh,
there you go.
2 days, I think, for mine.
Yep.
Nice.
All right, guys. Nice. Well, have a wonderful week. Have a good weekend. I hope everybody's doing okay.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay.
That's it.
I won't say what I said on Tuesday. So have a wonderful night, guys. See you later.
Okay. Good night.
Thank you to our mods. Thank you to everybody in chat. And thank you to the panel.